can't be serious, huh? Y'all ain't never stopping me. Let's go. It's fourth down and three to go. No time to waste. We on the road. No timeouts, baby. Do we gotta know? We gotta get the rock across the goal. Even though it looks impossible, must realize it's another obstacle. Gotta learn to step up, keep room for growth. Turning back now's not optional. This is the battle for my life. Win or lose, I done earned my stripes. Can't wish to get through every day without a dream to finish the night. Right? Hate me for no reason why, cause you can't stop me between the lines. Can't feel the rhythm without me and crying. You can't make a play, so stay on the side. One of those phenomenons. Black war paint, just to block the sun. Give me the rock and see me run. Do all these dudes and you're for fun. Fuck what you thought, I'm number one. Yes, I'm clutch in any weather. Back to the mud like they go say you're spinning out. It's true, any taker. Breakaway speed, I'll see you later. Hate your touchdown maker. Earn my paper. Bowling is my number one major. Measure up better than all these fakers. Bury my foes like the Undertaker. Just a maker. Earn my paper. Bowling is my number one major. Measure up better than all these fakers. Bury my foes like the Undertaker. Y'all can't hear what y'all cannot see. I can take it to the house, fun to 50. Can't find a defender that's gonna drop me. It's all skill with no Hail Mary. And it takes dedication and much energy. That's not myth, just got to be. Be true to yourself, don't ever deceive. Don't take no shit from anybody. Just strap it up and let's get ready. Goal line is stacked and packed and heavy. Jump over like I'm ready. Celebrating the rest of the team.
Wake up, you ain't heard the news. Fast breaks on your screen. You know how we do. Always making moves. Full Force Football Friday, Week 11 edition. Thank you for joining me here live on YouTube, man. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Get ready for this great football weekend that started last night with Thursday Night Football. Oh, man. Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks. I had the Packers winning this in a very tight game. I said the run games were going to be off the chain on both sides, which it was. Let's be real with it. I was right. And then I said, but it was going to come down to the fourth quarter, and it was going to come down to these quarterbacks. It was going to come down to Russell Wilson. It was going to come down to Aaron Rodgers. Man, the greatest quarterback on earth right now, playing right now. I said, whoever makes the biggest play, whoever comes up clutch in the fourth was going to get this victory. And I thought it was going to be Aaron Rodgers, but shoot, it was Russell Wilson. Woo, what a nice pass down the seam to the tight end, Dixon, to take a 3-point lead. And the Packers, man, I mean, 4th and 2, and you punt with a little over 4 minutes to go. You can't do that, man. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got to go out there. You cannot put the game in the defense's hands. I would much rather have the game in Aaron Rodgers' hands on 4th and 2. You got the option of him scrambling, creating some space, moving around, buying some time, finding the open receiver, which he did on multiple occasions to Davante Adams. They had that connection going yesterday, and that thing was incredible. To a tune of Davante Adams' 10 receptions for 166 yards. That's where you got to go to. But give credit to the Seattle Seahawks. I had the Packers winning this one 24-21. It was a 3-point game. It was a fourth quarter game with Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson gets the victory. Seattle Seahawks get the victory. They move to 5-5, and they're happy. They're smiling. They got that bright, shiny smile. They're out there happy. They're like, we're right in the middle, right in the thick of things. And now the Packers are asking questions. Is this the end? I don't think it is. Still have a lot of games. They have as many losses as the Seahawks at 5, and they're still only 2 losses behind the number 1 team in their division. Now, the Bears are 6-3. The Vikings are 5-3-1. We're going to talk about Sunday Night Football. That's a big matchup. One of those teams is going to come out with 4 losses. And if you're the Green Bay Packers, I don't know. I mean, you have the Bears still once. You got the Vikings once. You beat the Bears already, first game of the season on that great comeback. And you tied with the Vikings, but you should have won. Should have won that game. So you're going to have two very tough games, 2 road games with those 2 teams. So it's going to be tough pickings either way. Not out of it, but it's, one more loss for the Packers, and they're basically done. Because at 4-6-1, for them to run the table and get to 9-6-1, that's a tall order, and that doesn't even guarantee you a playoff spot at 9-6-1. Because if a team with a second wild card spot gets a 10-6 record, you're not getting in. You got the same amount of losses, but because of the tie, you're not going to have that 10th win, which you'll need in your back pocket. So I think from here on out, it's do or die for the Green Bay Packers. And this week in total, There are some teams where it's do or die, or else you're done. Starting up this Week 11 season. So great game yesterday for the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers for the NFL to start off Week 11. And let's get right into it. Let's get right into these games. Cowboys at the Falcons. You got 2, 4, and 5 teams. This is one of those games. Now, if you look at the NFC East, you can say, you know what, if the Cowboys don't pull this one out, which I don't think they will, but if the Cowboys don't pull this one out, they still got a shot, especially if the Redskins lose to the Texans and the Eagles lose to the Saints. They'll be in the same spot, because you'll have a 6-4 Redskins, 4-6 Cowboys, and you got Cowboys, Redskins on Thanksgiving. So everything will still be there. But just the way things are looking for the Cowboys at 4-6, it's one of those things too as well. Can you guarantee yourself an 8-8 finish, a 9-7 finish? Because 9-7 probably going to get you the division, possibly in the NFC East. So it's a big game either way. I think it's do or die for both of these teams. Definitely for the Falcons. If the Falcons lose this game, I'm pitchforking them. They're done. Matt Ryan's going to have to come up big. We know that defense has been struggling, but Matt Ryan has to come up big. He's going to have to put up points on the board. That's what he's known to do. They're at home cooking. Julio Jones got to come up big, and I'm not talking about 140 yards and 11 receptions and 0 touchdowns. I will much rather have 4 receptions, 80 yards, and 2 or 3 touchdowns for Julio Jones. Yardage don't mean nothing. All that means is you're behind and you're getting some garbage yards. So Julio Jones got to make some impact plays. I don't care about the stat line at the end of the day. I want touchdowns. I want the Falcons scoring early and often. Now, the Cowboys defense, it's there. It's there. It's not going to go away easily. I still like the Falcons in this game. I like what the Cowboys did against the Eagles, where they figured out that Ezekiel Elliott is their offense. And they're bringing in Amari Cooper real nicely. He's the first game against Tennessee, he showed flashes. Again, it's his first game. He had only, 12 days with the team to learn that playbook. And each week he's going to get better and better. That rapport with Dak Prescott is going to get better and more impressive. But let's not kid ourselves. This offense goes as Ezekiel Elliott goes. So you feed the guy 20 times on the ground, 4 or 5 times in the air, you're good to go. You're good to go. Ezekiel Elliott gets you 120, 125 on the ground. It's a perfect recipe for success, especially for a team that has a pretty decent defense. But I just look at the Falcons, backs against the wall. Man, cliche, but it's true. After taking that one on the chin by the Cleveland Browns last week, they're at home now, and they're going to have to pull out all the stops. That's what the Falcons are going to have to do, whether it's Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, Mohamed Sanu, Tevin Coleman. Not Tevin Campbell, but Tevin Coleman. Tevin Campbell, man, that had some good jams in the early 90s. So, but that's a whole different story. Ito Smith eating up some of them touchdowns on the goal line. This is a Matt Ryan game. Just like we've all been harping on Eli Manning, talking about when is this going to be your game? When are you going to have the game to signature your season to get your team back on track? Yeah, totally different team. Totally different route that the Giants are taking. But now it's Matt Ryan's turn. You need to have that signature game. And this is it. Because you lose this game and you're done. It's finished. For the Falcons, it's a fact. I like to have this little argument with my brother. What is fact and fiction? It won't be fact until a couple more weeks down the line. But it's a fact that if the Falcons lose on Sunday, they're done. They're finito. 4-6, then they don't got a shot in the division. So they're gonna have to chase whatever's in the wild card. And you look at the wild card; those 2 wild card teams only have 3 losses, and time's winding down. 4-6 doesn't look good, especially when you still got to play the Saints. You still got to play the Panthers. So Falcons, a must-win for them. I think they're gonna pull it out. I think they're going to do just enough to beat the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will provide some offense because the Falcons, they're not that good offensively. Can the Cowboys win this game? Oh, you damn right, as long as they follow the recipe. But something tells me they might fall behind early, and then they're gonna switch the recipe up when you shouldn't. So I like the Falcons in this game, 28-23. And somewhat of a close game, but the Falcons' offense is going to be out there doing things early on. I like the Falcons to come out striking, maybe 14, 21 to 7 going into halftime, something like that. But I like the Falcons 28-23. Cowboys, there's a recipe there, but will they follow it? That's the issue. They've had recipes all year to win games, but they don't follow the recipe. They try to think outside the box. You don't got to be all special. You don't got to be making up all these gadget plays. You don't got to be the aerial assault that these other teams are. Run the ball, pound the ball, find Amari Cooper on 3rd and 5s, go. That's what it is. That's what you got to do for your Dallas Cowboys. I like the Falcons in this one, 28-23. Let's get to our next game for Week 11. The Panthers and the Lions, two teams that are going in different directions, though. The Panthers last week got pummeled, destroyed by the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. They've had a few days to think about it, a little bit more days than the Lions, Lions themselves are just not looking good whatsoever. You had Matt Patricia have it in practice outside in the snow. Mind you, they play in a dome. Come on, guys. He's trying to find the tough players out there. Who's going to be tough? Who wants to play for this team? If not, we're going to get rid of you. And that's the way it should be. This team has a lot of talent, and for this talent to be where they're at, with the Detroit Lions at 3-6, I had them going to the playoffs. I had them being one of them dark horse teams as a wild card. No, nothing to show for it. 3-6, their season is over. Panthers 6-3. I believe the Panthers go in there and bust them up to a tune of 28-13. There's that 28 again. That's a magic number for this week. 28 is a good number to get you a victory. Now, the Seahawks almost got a 28. They got 27 yesterday, but those are the magic numbers. I like the Panthers with Christian McCaffrey. Dude's been off the chain this year. Greg Olsen, man, he's good old reliable tight end down the seam, picking up those key 3rd downs, and Cam Newton's still going to do what he does. The Panthers defense has to redeem themselves after them just being, they got tore up by Big Ben. But it's just one of those games. Things happen, I like the Panthers to bounce back in this game. 28-13 in Detroit. Lions, man, they got pitchforked last week because the way they've been playing has been horrible. It's been horrendous. And you got a decent quarterback who, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of this team. I think they have a recipe to be pretty good. That recipe also involves running the ball, the run game with Kerryon Johnson. But it's just not happening too often. It's not happening consistently enough. So, again, I'm going with the Panthers. Titans and the Colts. I'm liking this game. I'm going to be watching a lot of this game. I don't know what it is. It's just Andrew Luck, who the resurgence. This team started 1-5. They're 4-5 now. They're trying to get to 500, going against the Tennessee Titans, who have also resurged. They're 5-4. They beat the New England Patriots last week. They won in Dallas the week prior on Monday Night Football. Mariota, Corey Davis, even Derrick Henry showing some flashes. Deion Lewis doing his thing. So this game is going to be some fireworks. I know Tennessee has the number 1 defense when it comes to points allowed. And the Colts, man, Andrew Luck, 26 touchdowns, 2nd in the NFL behind MVP leader. Right now, he's in the leaderboard. Patrick Mahomes, 31 touchdowns. Though they hold teams to the lowest in the NFL, I'm speaking of the Tennessee Titans, I think it's going to be high scoring. I think there's going to be some points put up in that dome. Shoot. And I believe Reggie Wayne is going to be put in the Ring of Fame or whatever they call it there. So they're going to go back to the old ways, It's going to be some scoring. And matter of fact, I like the Colts in this game getting to 500. Can you believe that? From 1-5 to 500, and the Tennessee Titans will fall to 500. I like the Colts, man. 31-30. Yeah, that close of a game. 31-30. I'm not on the fence either. I'm picking the Indianapolis Colts to win this. And what the hell's going on with my phone? That's crazy, though. But Tennessee Titans, 2 good wins. You like the momentum to keep going. But you got 2 teams that have been playing pretty good lately. And you got 2 quarterbacks that are getting it, especially Andrew Luck. Mariota, I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable in Mike Vrabel's offense. But it's going to be a close game. It can go either way, but I'm going to pick the Colts 31-30. Buccaneers at the Giants. You got two teams that are going in similar directions. The Buccaneers at 3-6, man, with Ryan Fitzmagic. No more Fitzmagic. That's done, wore off. It's no more Fitzmagic. It's just Fitzpatrick, Patrick Starr. And the New York Giants, who are 2-7, who are on a winning streak. They're on a winning streak. They were able to take down the powerful San Francisco 49ers on Monday Night Football. I like the Giants in this game. The Giants on a 2-game win streak after they take care of the Buccaneers. And the Buccaneers fall to 3-7. Man, things got to change there. There's got to be some turnover with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There might be some turnover for the New York Giants as well. But the New York Giants will be flying high if they're able to get this victory, get to 3-7. Man, shoot. Evan Ingram, I think he's going to have a pretty decent game this time around. Evan Ingram, Odell Beckham's going to do what he does. Oh, man, yeah. Odell Beckham, top 3 receiver in the league. At any given moment, could be the best receiver in the league. Dude's always open. And he catches anything in his radius, in his oracle, or in his aura, whatever you want to call it, in his bubble. He can go out there and get it. Saquon Barkley, you don't even mention him. I have to mention him third. I think this is going to be one of those games where the Giants offense looks like the way it should have looked way back when. Now, I know Jason Pierre-Paul, JPP talking about, I got something for them. Possibly. It's possible. But the Giants as a whole, as a team, have something for you and your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't like the way the Buccaneers are going. I like Fitzpatrick because he doesn't really dwell on the mistakes, but that could also be a curse. That could be one of those things where it's like, all right, I don't care if I throw a pick. I'm going to continue to throw, make the bad decisions. And that puts you a little bit further behind than what you want to be. I like the New York Giants in this game. 28-21. Yes, there's that number 28 again. New York Giants 28-21 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, getting to that 2-game winning streak, and now they're having thoughts of division. Ooh, Odell Beckham's like, we're going to win the last games. We're going to end the season, 9-7. Damn. If the Giants end the season 9-7, they will win the division. But it's not going to happen. But they're getting closer. After this win against the Buccaneers, they're going to be 3-7. The Buccaneers will fall to 3-7, and the Giants going to be riding high. Real high if they get this victory. Texans at the Redskins. Another one of those games that could be considered a game of the week just because of where they're both at. Two division leaders. It's an interconference game, so either team that loses this game is not really going to hurt their tiebreaker scenario chances for a playoff spot. They'll both lead the division, win or lose. But at the end of the day, I like the Texans in this game. I think the Houston Texans, they also got that firepower. They just got Demaryius Thomas in the fold, who looked pretty good. He's had a bye now to learn that offense a little bit more. Not to say he's going to be like old DT, where he's going to have 8 catches for 110 yards in a tub. That's not going to happen. But you can see some consistency there. Maybe 5 or 6 receptions, 70, 75 yards for DT. Maybe gets a score. But that's DeAndre Hopkins all day, every day. Let's be real with it. And if Kiki Cutie's out there playing, he's going to provide some more depth, some more weaponry for Deshaun Watson, Lamar Miller in the backfield. Come on, man. That team is they done woke up after starting 0-3. A team that started 0-3 is now 6-3. Will go to 7-3 after they defeat the Washington Redskins. Adrian Peterson, man, I got to give him props. But it's one game, he tears it up. One game where it's like, did he even play? And I feel like the Redskins offense goes as he goes, especially with all the injuries they have at receiver. They've been having some injuries at receiver. Whether you talk about, Josh Jackson's been the most reliable when you talk about just being healthy. But Paul Richardson, he's out. And they expected more from a receiver like Paul Richardson. So when you look at the Redskins, where are they going to get their weaponry from on the outside? Jordan Reed, man, maybe. Alex Smith, he likes to have his little safety valve. So that might work. But I just like the Texans. I think this is going to be a very hard-fought game. But I like the Texans in this game. 28-21. to 17. Yeah, I just pulled that out of my you know what. Because I was going to say 28-10, but I said, you know what, it's going to be hard fought, so I got to add a touchdown for the Redskins. 28, there's that number. 28-17. Texans beat the Washington Redskins. The Redskins fall to 6-4, keeping everybody in the same. Everyone but the Giants. So I kind of gave you the victory, or I gave you the what I'm trying to say. I let the rabbit out the hat when we talk about the Eagles. Because if the Redskins lose, Cowboys lose, and I said the only team that was going to get it was the Giants, that means the Eagles are going to lose, right? Of course, they're playing the Saints. But we'll get to that here in a second. Steelers at the Jaguars. This is the Jaguars' last chance just to provide some respect for themselves, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. I feel like they done packed it in. They started off 3-1. Now they're 3-6. They're doing the opposite of what the Texans did. They were on top of the division, looking like they were going to do the same thing as last year. But then Blake Bortles happened. And then the defense kind of took a step back. And now you traded Fowler to the Rams, their pass rusher. And you don't hear any more talk out of Jacksonville. That place is mum. You don't hear nothing at all. Because every week you were hearing a lot of talk, Ramsey this, Ramsey that. Talking about this guy, talking about that guy, talking about how he can't play, how I'm better than him. We're going to shut him down. We haven't heard none of that. Because when you're 3-6, you really can't say much. So that 3-6 is going to be 3-7. Pittsburgh's going to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. This one's going to be a fairly easy victory. I like Pittsburgh 28, Jacksonville 12. Yep, 28-12. There's 28 again. Hey, we're going to keep it going like that. 28 is the magic number this week for victories. Pittsburgh Steelers and that weaponry, we ain't even got to talk about it. We saw what they did against the Panthers, putting up 52. They done woke up. They understand now we don't got to worry about Le'Veon Bell. Not to say they were, but now it's not even a thought. Le'Veon Bell, for those of you that don't know, not going to be part of this team this year, not going to play any football this year, and will not be a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers for the rest of his life and for the rest of their lives. Pittsburgh Steelers, James Conner, Juju Smith-Schuster. What can you say? And don't forget Antonio Brown. Please do not forget Antonio Brown. But we got Antonio Brown in the mix. Ben Roethlisberger. Now, he's not going to throw for 5 touchdowns again. Not going to do that. He's going to throw for 3. 3 touchdowns. And they're going to win 28-12. Jacksonville will fall to 3-7 like I mentioned. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, don't look now. They're going to be 7-2-1. Shoot, you talk about a team flying high. They're going to be flying real high with that number 2 seed, looking to hold on to that number 2 seed because it's going to be vital. It's going to be vital because we could almost assure ourselves the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be the number 1 seed. Or can we? We'll talk about that game here in a little bit. Just in a little bit. Bengals at the Ravens. I think this is one of those games that's going to determine a lot for the wild card aspirations for some of these teams that are below these teams. Because you look at the Ravens are 4-5 and the Bengals are 5-4. These teams that are below, they want the Ravens to win this game. Let's get the Bengals down to 5-5. Can you imagine that? Because you have a lot of these teams that are 5-5 are trying to get to 4-6. That are trying to get to 5-5. It's like the NFC almost. The AFC, the bottom of the wild card is a little bit, it's not as impressive. But the Ravens win this game, then it's going to be, it's going to be all just stacked together like that. You got teams that are 3-6 right now, like the Denver Broncos, that if they're able to pull out a victory, shoot, they'll be one game out of the wild card, depending on how everything else falls. Shoot, man. If the Colts win, they'll be 5. Man, this is going to be jam-packed, man. Like 3 or 4 teams stuck at 5-5 because the Dolphins are already there. But Ravens have a big question. Is Joe Flacco going to play? He hasn't practiced all week. Is this going to be Lamar Jackson coming out party? And if Lamar Jackson starts, can you depend on Lamar Jackson to go out there and beat the Cincinnati Bengals at home? I think this is going to have to be a defensive game for the Baltimore Ravens. No A.J. Green for the Bengals. So if they can just say, you know what? we got to lock down Boyd, and we got to stop the run, they have a good shot. I'm talking as if Lamar Jackson is going to start the game. Now, Lamar Jackson is going to bring some things that Joe Flacco does not bring at all. He can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. That's the difference. But where is his accuracy going to play into this game? And are they going to trust him to pick up 3rd and 7s through the air, 3rd and 8s through the air? Or are they just going to be like, you know what, let's just punt. We're better off punting. You have to have a smart game plan and say, you know what, man, take off and run. If your first read isn't there, take off and run. Do not get sacked. Do not force it to the first read. Do not force it to the second read. If your first read is not open, tuck it in, go. And pick up whatever you can pick up. Slide. You're a young buck. Do whatever you can, pick up yardage. And I think that would be the right thing to do for the Baltimore Ravens. So I'm kind of stuck in the pickle here who I'm going to pick. Yeah, whatever. But I'm not going to, you know what? I'm not going to be that dude on the fence. I think whether or not Joe Flacco plays, I think the Ravens are going to pull this one out. I really believe they are. They have to. They've lost 4 out of 5. They were 3-1 once. They're 4-5 now. And I think for them to realistically stay in this playoff push, they're going to have to win this game at home because it's a home game against a division foe. A division foe that does not have their top weapon in A.J. Green. That you can exploit when you look at the Cincinnati Bengals defensive side of the ball. You can exploit that. It just figures how you're going to do that. I mean, if Joe Flacco goes out there, oh, man, they're going to bust him up. So I like the Ravens in this game. Very close. Not going to get to 28. But I like 20-17, Baltimore Ravens over the Cincinnati Bengals at home. Denver Broncos at the Los Angeles Chargers. Whoop, whoop. Upset special of the week. Here we go. 7-2 Los Angeles Chargers are going to fall. Yeah, the hot Los Angeles Chargers, who are a big play team, are going to fall to the Denver Broncos on Sunday. Upset alert, baby. That's what's going to happen. The 3-6 Denver Broncos will figure out a way to pull it out in Los Angeles to the tune of 28-22. Yes, 28-22. The Denver Broncos pull this out, man. Some way, somehow, they will figure out a way. They're coming off the bye week. They're getting some players back. And I think Case Keenum had his best game of the season prior to the bye week. No mistakes. Looking pretty good. Utilizing the tight end. You know, Jeff Hireman, 10 receptions. That's utilizing the tight end. You still got Emmanuel Sanders. And then Cortland Sutton's going to make a big play in this game. He's going to make a big play. You get Royce Freeman coming back in the backfield, the other rookie running back, but it's going to be a Phillip Lindsay day. I'm just telling y'all what it is. And the defense, Bradley Chubb, Von Miller, they're going to have to get to Phillip Rivers because Phillip Rivers is like, boom, bam, pitch and catch. That's what he does. And it looked kind of weird because it's my left hand and I'm not ambidextrous. I'm a right-hand man. You know what I'm saying? I like the Denver Broncos in this game. I don't care what you say. I don't care if it's my... I've picked the Broncos to lose before. All right? I'm telling you, this is the upset special of the week. Denver Broncos win this 28-22, some way, somehow. I'm right back in the thick of things, whether you like it or not. Raiders at the Cardinals. I don't want to talk about this game. These are two very bad teams. So I'm going to tell you right now, the Arizona Cardinals win this game 13-10. That's it. Eagles at the Saints. The Saints are going to blow the doors off the Eagles. It's just child's play for the Saints right now. To the tune of 38, not 28, 38-17. The New Orleans Saints with all that weaponry that I've been talking about for other teams. Weaponry. Offensive weaponry. Kamara, Michael Thomas. They brought in Brandon Marshall. Already had Mark Ingram. Shoot. Ben Watson at tight end. Drew Brees. Too breezy. Drew Breezy. I like the Saints. Going to tear up the Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz. Cowboys 4-6. Still 2 games behind the Redskins. Saints keep improving. They are the best team in football. They're going to win the Super Bowl this year, just like I predicted That's the only way I know how. That's the only way I know. That's the only thing I know when it comes to who's going to win the Super Bowl. It's the Saints. It's going to happen. Like it or not. It's going to be against the Chargers, but it's going to happen. Yeah, I picked the Chargers to lose this week. You're not going to go undefeated. You're going to lose some games. But I like the Saints in this game against the Eagles. 38-17, fairly easy. Sunday Night Football, Vikings and the Bears. Sunday Night Football, the Bears are getting so much love. They got flexed into another game on Sunday Night Football against the Rams. They getting all this respect and well-deserved. I like the Vikings in this game. I like Kirk Cousins going against Chicago Bears and Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky, man, he's been doing what he has to do to win these games. But this is a whole different spotlight. From beginning to end, you saw him week 1 against the Packers. He looked real good early, but then it just started falling apart when a momentum shift. If he gets it this week, I'm telling y'all, man, the Bears are locked in as a playoff team. I like the Vikings. Vikings have been rolling themselves. Winners. They're 5-3-1. They're winners of 4 out of 5. Rolling. So the Bears are rolling too. They're at home. Badass defense. But I trust Kirk Cousins and those receivers more than I do the Bears and their receivers. Because I don't know what I'm going to get from their receivers. I don't know what I'm going to get from the run game. And Dalvin Cook looked pretty good last week in that return effort. 80-plus yards on 9 carries? Dalvin Cook is back. But I like the Vikings in a very tight game, beating the Chicago Bears 26-23. Possibly in overtime, but that's the final score. 26-23. Minnesota Vikings, man, go to 6-3-1. And the Bears fall to 6-4, but they're still in the thick of things. They're still the leaders in the wild card right after the Panthers. When we talk about the 2 wild card spots. And then the game of the week, Monday Night Football. You get all these games on Sunday. Then you get Monday Night Football with the Chiefs and the Rams. Oh, my goodness. You are so lucky to get this game. And now it's in Los Angeles because Mexico fumbled this up. Mexico City, you messed up. You had the game of the year in your hands. And you couldn't get a damn field ready. That's it. You couldn't have grass ready for a football game. That makes no sense, but whatever. The game is now back in the U.S. on U.S. soil, Los Angeles, the Coliseum, and you're going to see these prolific offenses. Who's going to win? This is tough for me to say, but I like Patrick Mahomes on Monday Night Football. I trust him a little bit more than I trust Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff could be rattled. I don't think Patrick Mahomes even knows what that means. Now, it's not going to be an easy win for the Chiefs, but it's going to be a win. And it is going to be high scoring. Now, these teams aren't going to reach 50. You know, a lot of people talking about, it might be 56 to 53. It's not that. It's not going to be that. But one of these teams is going to get to 40. And that one team is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. 44-38, Kansas City over Los Angeles. But there's going to be fireworks in this game. Let's just keep it real. Let's call it what it is. Fireworks nonetheless. Big game. I think the loss of Cooper Kupp slightly dampens their efficiency on offense because he was the player that you can depend on 3rd and 6, and he could also get you over the top. Brandon Cooks is more of either a screen pass guy or a guy that's going to take you over the top. Now, Robert Woods does it all as well, but Cooper Kupp was vital to this team. I know Josh Reynolds has something to say about that, but I got to see it to believe it. He's more of a speedster. But I got to give it to the Chiefs. You cannot mess with Tyreek Hill. You can't mess with Kareem Hunt. You can't mess with Travis Kelce, who hasn't been playing too well lately. This might be his explosion game. You never know. Sammy Watkins, is he going to play? Whether or not he plays or not, Chiefs are going to win. 44-38. Take that to the bank. 82 total points scored. It's not 83 total points scored like the Patriots and the Chiefs, but pretty damn close. You know, we're all expecting this high-scoring game. Watch it be 20-17, which is fine by me. As long as it's a good game and these guys are playing good football and you got good teams going out there, that's all you can ask for. So for the Fast Break Sports Hour, this is Full Force Football Friday. Thank you for joining me. You guys got to get all your snacks ready tonight, Saturday. You got to have it planned out. You got to figure out what you're going to eat for breakfast, what you're going to have for the first set of games, whether you're having some drinks or whatever, or some nice appetizers, or you're just eating snacks. You can't go wrong. And then you get into the afternoon games. Maybe you take a little 1 hour rest or whatever. You start dozing off a little bit because you're in a food coma. You get into the afternoon games. Shoot, you get the main course. You start to eat some real good stuff. You bring a little bit more snacks. Shoot, Sunday night football. You cap it off with like a Ben and Jerry's, some big ass dessert, something, man. Shoot, whatever tickles your fancy. Then you're like, man, I feel good. I feel stuff. I'm ready to hit the gym on Monday. And then Monday night comes, you're like, man, I got to get me something else. And you will. So enjoy the games. Have fun with it. Fast Break Sports Hour. Full Force Football Friday. I'll be back on Monday to talk about these games that happen on Sunday. Hype up the Monday night game a little bit more because you can't hype it up enough. Hype it up enough. Easy for me to say, right? Fast Break Sports Hour. Thank you for joining me. I gotta go to work. That's what we do. Love y'all. Do what you want to do in life. Do you love yourself? Have fun every day. I'm out.